Guess what? The Content Creators University is a show that airs every single week, but I want to connect with you. I want you to go ahead and download my mobile application. If you have an iPhone, go ahead and download my app called JP Hightek TV right now onto your phone. If you have a TV, a smart TV, my app is also available on your Roku TV, right? Go ahead and download JP Hightek TV on your Roku TV or your Amazon Fire TV right now, and let's connect together, right? I want you to grow with me. I want us to grow together. If you love podcasts, I'm also happy to tell you that the Content Creators University is available syndicated across every podcast platform. Apple Podcasts, Audible, Google Podcasts, you name it, we are there. Spotify and all of that. Go ahead and download it, listen to it, and do me a favor. If you appreciate what we're doing, go ahead and put it in the comment section. Leave me a review on any of those podcast platform or mobile application platform. Let me know if any of the hard work that we're putting into this community, this broadcast, this podcast is helping you. If you appreciate all the amazing guests that we're bringing onto the platform to share their expertise with you. This is a lot of work, family, and I'm doing all this in order for you to be able to grow your business the right way, leveraging content creation. Thanks so much, and if you appreciate what we do, go ahead and as well subscribe to the YouTube channel JP Hightek Reviews. Follow me personally if you want to, connect with me on all social media, and the handle is @JP Hightek. I love connecting. Like I always say, network is the new currency. So I want to see you online. I want to connect with you, and I want to hear from you. Let's grow together. Be safe, like I always say. See you next time. Shalom. Peace.
What's good, family? Welcome to another episode of the Content Creators University, episode 3 of this week, right? This is season 5, and you guys know we've been bringing in one of the best minds, right, in the business ecosystem, the tech world, people that we call professors that are coming here to teach you and I things that we need to know, so we can be better at our craft, right? We have to stay sharp. This is Q4 of 2023. If you want to win next year, this is where the game is played. And one thing that I always say, you cannot know what's missing if you're too busy playing the game. You hear me? If you're on the field playing the game so much, you don't know what you need. You don't know what's missing. That's why you need somebody like me to actually tell you what you can put in. You need somebody like our guest today that will tell us the things that we need to implement so that we're always on top of our game, right? Well, what are you talking about, JP? I'm talking about us winning. Well, it's not just about creating content, even though that's what we do here. We leverage technology, and our motto here is create, impact, innovate. We want to leverage that to grow our business. Well, there's a strategy behind it, which is why we have this show every week, right? Tuesday, Wednesday, sometimes Thursdays, like today. We have experts that are coming in to talk to us. They spend about an hour, and that's why we're here today. So if you appreciate all these things, family, I want to really encourage you to subscribe to our channel, right? We're on YouTube. That's our home. JP Hightek Reviews is the YouTube channel, or the handle is @JP Hightek. If you listen to the podcast, JP Hightek. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, or let me know in the comment section where you're watching this from, because we're broadcasting to a lot of different places, and we appreciate you guys joining us. We are honored every time you take time out of your day to join us here. We are really appreciative of that. And if you didn't know who I am, well, I apologize for the folks that are like, I'm new, JP. Well, my name is JP Hightek. I'm your humble servant. I'm a global branding expert. I help individuals, small business owners, and corporations build a premium brand, and we leverage technology, content creation, live video, and a whole lot of amazing things, because I'm honored to tell you that, I'm the founder of an amazing media agency located in the state of Tennessee called Perfect Zone Productions. And we leverage, photography, videography, graphic, web design, visibility, all those amazing things that we need in today's society to build a top-notch brand. That's what we do for you. So if you're watching this, you're like, yo, JP, man, I'm digging what I'm seeing. I'm loving what I'm seeing. I really appreciate what I'm hearing. Let's help you out. There's no shortcut to it. Anyhow, let's dive into today's conversation. Before we do that and bring our guests onto the stage, if you didn't know, one thing we do here, we share the news first, right? After the news, The news is what's new in the Content Creators University, right? We talk about that. We run some of our sponsors ads because this show is listener and sponsor supported. And so we got to talk about our sponsors, and they're allowing us to, keep producing this type of things, bringing them 100% free to you guys. And right after that, our guests will be here and we'll be jumping into really understanding being different. Can you dare to be different in today's society? Woo! It's about to be good, family. It's about to be real good. So stay with me. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right after this.
This is Todd.
Hi.
This is Todd's mom.
Hi.
In a moment, Todd's mom will read her son's internet browsing history.
What?
Aloud, please.
No.
Supermodels on trampolines.com. Why don't girls like me? How to overcome an overbearing mother.
Okay, cut.
If you wouldn't want
Stop.
mom looking through your web history, why would you let hackers, ad companies, or your internet and cellular provider do the same thing?
Why does my junk burn?
They can track and record everything you do online, but not if you have ExpressVPN.
Why did you buy a $200 ninja outfit?
For fighting.
ExpressVPN apps keep your activity and identity private while you browse, stream, email, or download. Protect all of your devices with just one click.
Are my hands small?
Okay, I'm done. You guys are all terrible people.
ExpressVPN. Take back your privacy today.
Yo, family, welcome back here to the news. The first thing I want to tell you guys about is the book is out. Yeah, my first book is out. Go grab it today. The Live Stream Blueprint is available for pre-order. It drops officially November 3rd, 2023. And I'm honored, family. I've been doing this, right? Leveraging live stream to grow my business for such a long time. And a lot of folks ask me so many questions. And I can tell you, listen, if you're in the business world, you understand that a lot of times they'll tell you, you need to market, right? You need to grab some leads. You need to bring them. You need to qualify the leads. You need to convert those leads. Listen, in order to try to struggle and pay for those leads and jump left and right and try to do those things, I understand the power of live stream, because here's the thing. Live stream allows you to promote your product or services, right, organically. And it also allows you to establish yourself as an expert. People do not trust the things you're talking about unless they believe that you are qualified to talk about it, right? And telling them that you have a degree doesn't cut it. Yeah, I mean, you can have a degree and really still lack in real life experiences and wisdom. So you need to establish yourself as an expert. The way you do that is through a live stream, and you're fostering a community, because that's the best thing to do, right? When you create and foster a community, those are the self-proclaimed ambassadors of everything you have to do. They will go promote your product without you even asking them to do that. Those are the best people that you can be working with, right? And that's what you want to do through live stream. Again, there's so much into this book. Go get it today, right? Go to the website, thelivestreamblueprint.com is where you want to go. Again, thelivestreamblueprint.com. Once you go there, you can click and pre-order this today. I'm very honored. And I want to hear from you, right? I want to hear from you. I want to read your reviews and see what you have to say about this book. It's my first one, and I'm honored to see how you're feeling about it, right? I really appreciate giving, and this is one of the ways that I give. Now, let's go ahead and continue with our sponsors announcement here in the news. Of course, I know you've watched ExpressVPN's ad, or you listened to it, right? ExpressVPN is a virtual private network that I personally recommend. Be using that for years, and I'm honored that they've stayed with us since season 1. Now we're in season 5, and they're giving you 3 months free to use it, right? Protect your asset, protect the things that you do online. You don't want to expose it, because things are happening today, and if we don't know how to put that layer of encryption surrounding our dearest information, it will be exposed. And a good friend of mine just got their Facebook completely deleted. Yeah, that is a problem, and it's rampant. So we really want to look into protecting our things whenever we log into those sensitive information, and ExpressVPN is a great way to do that. Go to the website expressvpn.com/JP Hightek. Just for the viewers and listeners and followers of JP, I take this community right here at Content Creators University. So honored that they are doing that for us. And listen, family, so many people have requested, JP, I need help. Well, the mentorship school is open, right? This is a one-on-one private mentorship with your humble servant, JP. If you need help really building that brand and you have so many questions, the truth is, Certain information you're not going to get unless you get into certain closed doors. You're not going to find it on the internet. You'll find a part of them, but you're not going to get the full equation, right? If you need help leveraging technology and visibility to really establish a premium brand, right? You want to have certain private conversations. That's what I'm here for. Because here's the thing, right? The lion, even though is the king of the jungle, is not the fastest, the smartest, the heaviest. But he's the king of the jungle. Why? Let me know in the comment section. Those are the things that we talk about, and I'll be more than happy and honored to hold your hand, and so that we can grow and be king and queens in this jungle we call, society today. All right, family. So go ahead and visit the website, jphightek.com/mentorship, jphightek.com/mentorship. And if you did not know, family, we have our community. It is called Content Creators University. It's not a private Facebook group. It's a true social media community that we created, our own built community. All you have to do is go to the website, contentcreatorsuniversity.com. I repeat, contentcreatorsuniversity.com, create a free account and join like-minded creators, professionals, people that are serious about taking their endeavors to the next level. We meet there and we have some conversations. We do certain things that I cannot do on YouTube, right? Go ahead. ContentCreatorsUniversity.com is the place for you to go and join my community today. Now, family, there are some folks that say, yo, JP, I see you on Roku, right? You broadcast simultaneously on Roku. If you didn't know, we do have our Roku TV application. JP Hightek TV is our app, 100% free. And folks are like, how are you doing that? Well, I'm using this solution called RTN Streams, right? RTNstreams.com is what I'm using. If you know how to upload a video to Instagram, to YouTube and all of that, you know how to use this, right? And this allows me to expand my brand's net worth, right? Because now instead of a podcast, it's called a TV broadcast because I'm on TV. Listen, I digress. Go ahead, check it out. RTNstreams.com is where you want to go today and get yourself an account. A CDN account is what it's called. Content Delivery Network is what you need to do this type of things, right? Without having to code or do any of that, you'll be able to have your own TV application on Roku, on Amazon Fire TV, and all of that. Listen, it's amazing. It's amazing. And finally, the latest company that decided to attach their image to our broadcast here is called Jara Finance. And the website is jarafinanceacademy.com. Jara, if you're listening, is JIREH Academy. jarafinanceacademy.com, allowing you to really invest your money the smart way. We already know that your money can work better for you than you can work for it, right? And so, yeah, economy is not the same and things are changing rapidly, and you can have $1 million today. 5 years now, what your $1 million can buy 5 years ago was not going to be able to buy because it didn't compound that interest, right? So you're really missing out. And so, yeah, put your money to the right places and you will not regret it. Again, the website is jarafinanceacademy.com. Good folks, good, amazing folks there. So enough of all that. Let's go ahead and talk about our guest today, family. Our guest today became a good friend of mine, right? I love what she does. I love the cause and the mission and vision, the things that she talks about, her conversations and things like that. I know somebody's like, JP, what's her name? Well, her name is Dr. Miriam J. McConner, and she's here today to talk to us about daring to be different. Right, they dig into the pros and cons, the good and the bad, and the things that we need to think about it. But in her short bio, it says that Dr. Miriam J. McConner is the owner and founder of Inclusive Excellence Consulting, a full-service diversity, equity, and inclusion consulting firm headquartered in Memphis, Tennessee. In the house, you guys know we're in Tennessee, and she's an award-winning entrepreneur and certified diversity executive who has worked in the DEI and international sphere. Listen, family, she can present herself better than can I do, right? And one thing I love about her is she's real. And you guys know how we feel about that. We have to be real. We have to be honest. We have to dig deep into some root issues that we deal with in society today so that we can have a true transformation of the mind, of the heart, and of our lives, right? So stay tuned, get ready, grab your pen and paper, your popcorn, whatever you got going on, your coffee. It's about to be good. We're about to bring her right here onto the stage right after this. Let's go. All right, all right, all right. MJ, welcome to the Content Creators University. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm like, I'm on JP High-Tech show. I'm here with you, talking to you, and excited to be a part of this. So thank you so much.
Absolutely, absolutely. The honor is all ours here. You're a busy woman, and we were like, "Oh, what date can we set this up?" And I'm so glad we're able to find a date for you to come onto the stage here as a VIP guest speaker. And this topic we're about to talk about is so needed, is so deep, and it's so serious, and it's so important that I'm excited to dive into it. But before we do all of that, right? Let me have you take a minute, introduce yourself to the folks that are just discovering you for the very first time, please. Take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I am a diversity, equity, and inclusion consultant and coach. So I get to work with organizations all across the country, and
Mm-hmm.
not just organizations, but individuals as well. And so what I do is I help them create processes and systems that are more equitable and inclusive. And with that comes a lot of daring to be different, right? Because we do have to really
Right.
lean into what makes your organization unique and what makes you unique as a person.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I love what I do specifically because I get to work with so many different types of people and organizations.
I believe it. I believe it. I mean, follow you on social media. I see you all over the place, traveling all the time and having conversation and holding workshops and different things, which is amazing. Amazing things. I salute to you because that's truly, truly commendable. But yeah, we have a topic today, right? And folks, if you're just joining us, let me help you remember what we're talking about. Daring to be different. Wow. This is amazing. Before we dive into that, MJ, I want to ask you a question, and this is a fun question we ask all of our guests here: is if you were a superhero, who will that be and why?
You know, 10 years ago, I would have said Superwoman. But after seeing the most recent Black Panther movie, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I want to be Black Panther now because first of all, I love Wakanda because everybody is so equal. You have the women, the men, everybody, joins forces side by side. So I think I would want to be Black Panther.
Okay, okay. And you are the first person, believe it or not, in 5 seasons to mention Black Panther as a superhero. So you're
Really?
the first one. Yeah, it's amazing, right? And so glad that you selected that. And I like the reason, right? Everybody fighting together. There's a oneness to it. They're one and they face adversity together. Men, women, doesn't matter. We're all on the battlefield and getting it taken care of, and that's really, really cool. Okay, so we have a somewhat serious question for you, which gets a lot of our guests into a little reflection time, and that's to know if you had the opportunity today, right, to meet your 20-year-old self. If you have one advice to give her, so Dr. MJ, 20 years old, not knowing everything you had to face till now, what would be one major piece of advice you give her? And really, why would you give her that advice?
Yeah, you know what? I love that question. And I think the one thing I would advise my younger self, my 20-year-old self, is it's okay to show yourself some grace. Um, you know, I went through most of my life, and I still do from time to time, I admit, but I went through most of my life
Mm-hmm.
chasing perfectionism and wanting to be so excellent in everything, and never really stepping back and saying, you know what, it's okay that you made that mistake. It's okay because you're learning, right? Because when you do
Mm-hmm.
this, you know that there really is no mistake, right? It's all a learning lesson. You're learning something from it. So I think I would say that to myself because I can be really hard on myself, like, oh, you have to do more, keep going, not good enough. But I think it's important for all of us to show ourselves grace.
That's fantastic, and I love it. Thanks for saying that. Yes, I mean, we always say, family, that every step is a stepping stone to a higher position, right? Even though might not always feel like that in life. Like a lot of times we feel like we're stagnant, we're not achieving anything special, and we just are maybe in the same cycle, like we're going around and, oh, I've gone through this before. And here I am at the same stage again, family. let's give ourselves some grace, like MJ saying, and understanding that every single time there's a new learning opportunity at every step that we got to take with us. And that allows us to be who we are at the end of the day. It forges us, our experiences, our battles, our struggles, all of that, I believe sincerely allows us to be who we are, because that allows us to be unique. And talking about daring to be different, right?
Yes.
That goes straight into that. And so I want to know to you, right? As a person that operates for equality, right? You fight that fight every day.
Mhm.
Diversity matters. And we're talking about being different in today's society, in the creator economy. Personally, to you, what does it even mean today to be different? And how can being different can affect someone today?
Absolutely. I did an activity with a group of young students earlier today. And one of the things I said, I want you all to all write down different parts of your identity. What are things you love to do? Where are you from? What are foods you like? And the reason I did that is because I wanted all of them to see just how different they are. So, yes, they all go to the same school. They all grew up in the same neighborhood, a lot of them, but we all bring something unique. And another thing I said to them is, you have to remember that God created all of us different for a reason. We all have different
Mm-hmm.
DNA. None of us is exactly the same, and that was by design.
Hmm.
What you
Yo.
you have, or a unique way of thinking, or skill set do you have that can change the world? And I could see the wheels spinning. They were just like, "Oh yeah, I never thought about it like that." Yeah. So I just think it's so important for us to really lean into that uniqueness, especially as creators. Especially as creators.
Wow. Wow. The part that I'm stuck on, the DNA. Yo, family, you're already deep to me. You're already like going deep, and I love it, right? We have genetically markers that separates us from everybody else. There's no two of one of you on planet Earth. A lot of folks don't know this, but I'm a twin. I was born a twin. I have biologically, I have a twin brother. But even there, we have separate DNAs. And
Yeah.
that blows my mind, right? Like how God orchestrated the whole thing. And,
Mhm.
MJ, today's society, there's some that will tell you the struggle because embracing what makes them different is not always celebrated. And others will tell you that being different has opened the doors to opportunities for them. Let's address the one that is telling us is not celebrated. And because of that, they have battles that they shouldn't be facing in life. Somebody that's telling you today, I'm part of the minority, one. Second, I'm not celebrated because I don't look like the average person. I don't talk like the average person. I don't think like the average person. And so I have roadblocks in front of me. You work in diversity and you promote inclusion. I know this is something that you've faced. This is a conversation you've had in the past. How can somebody keep going when society tells them they need to be conformed? They need to conform themselves to the norm. I mean, why would you tell somebody like that?
Yeah, and I'll tell you, it is perfectly natural for a lot of us to want to retreat and for a lot of us to want to just blend in. We don't want to cause any problems, right? And admittedly, I used to be that person. I used to be the person, JP, seriously, I would be telling other folks, all right, lean into your authenticity, be you, while I was also concealing parts of my identity, right?
Mm,
A lot of folks know I now, but I'm dyslexic. And so for
mm,
years, I went throughout most of my career keeping that to myself. Maybe the HR department knew that was it because I needed an accommodation. But I think about it now, like how many lives could have been touched just knowing, oh, she's dyslexic too. She's neurodiverse. I can relate. And I see it now because I get to, tell people about neurodiversity and,
Hmm.
why it's important for us to embrace that. But a lot of times, not only are we holding ourselves back, but it could be somebody else out there who could really be touched by what you have to say. Like you bring that unique experience or perspective that could really help motivate the next person. And so I often remind
Wow.
people of that, especially when they feel like they have to shrink in order to fit
Hmm.
into a certain space. It's like, no, don't shrink. I want you to, embrace all of you because you never know who's watching. You never know who could be impacted by your story.
Wow. Wow. And see, whoo, family. Yo, can we go deeper? Oh my
Absolutely. Let's do it.
God. Oh my God. All right. So here's the thing, right? Everyone today, everywhere you see, of course, you see coaches left and right everywhere on internet. Everybody's a coach. Everybody's an expert today. And everybody's saying, be authentic, be authentic, be authentic, authenticity, be vulnerable on camera and then all of that. But here's the problem, especially in the career economy. My community, we're creators. We're people that are, speakers, coaches, professionals, you name it. We think outside the box. And one thing that, they'll tell you to struggle with is the fine line between being quote unquote authentic and unprofessional, they'll tell you, right? They'll tell TMI sometimes. Like, so how do you balance that? Like, when is it too much? Or what is too much? How do you stay professional and stay authentic, like they say, or true? Or unique? Let us know, please.
Yeah, you know what? That's a tough question because sometimes I even try to come to grips with, okay, am I sharing too much and not enough? But one of the things that I try to remind myself in particular is, okay, is this relevant? Like, is this
Hmm.
message relevant to what I'm trying to convey? Or is it just me getting on social media venting or complaining about the system, right?
Right,
Because I
right.
do, the work I do is a lot of systems at play. And so it's easy to want to get on the soapbox. But I think the biggest thing to kind of rein it in just a bit is to say, okay, is this relevant to my brand, my message? Is this intentional and purposeful? It's not just me
Hmm.
oversharing, right? And so it has to be some intentionality behind it too. And I mean, I think there's a way to balance still being authentic and also making sure that everything you do is representative of what you want to convey to folks.
See, I love that because different public have different definition of what's too much or what's not professional. So to add to what you said, of course, I believe, right, we have to be able to adapt our message to the target, the receiving party, right? And really understanding that it is a communication, not a monologue. And so whenever you're having communication based on how the communication is going and what the challenges the person probably have, you might be prone to share something personal that might empower them. And in that specific case, it may not be unprofessional too much, but in a different set could be like, oh, why would you share this, right? uh, I mean, you speak a lot, and I believe that's the little thing I can see added to that. Now, of course, somebody will tell you, "Well, Dr. MJ, it's not that easy." I mean, yeah, you're doing it, you're amazing at it, but it's not that easy. I mean, it's not that easy to open up. It's not that easy to really share. Some people look at it as their baggage, right? Or going against the grain. Being authentic is going against the grain sometimes, right?
Without question. Yes.
So, how do you find the strength to ignore what maybe all the signs, everything's out of you telling you, don't do it, don't do it. But you still go for it. How do you do that? How can you encourage somebody to really do that? And what will be, the tips and tricks that you have?
Yeah, so one of my tips and one of the things that I do personally is I think about all the courageous leaders and all the courageous, people who make have came before us in society who did it anyway. So Dr. King, you
Hmm.
think about people like Nelson Mandela, you think about Phyllis Wheatley, Harriet Tubman, all of those folks. I'm really into history, as you can tell, African American history especially. Um, but I say to myself, what would have happened if they didn't challenge the process or if they didn't speak up in this situation? And so that's one thing that kind of keeps me going and to keep me in a position where I know that I have to speak. Like I can't
Hmm.
be silent. And I would encourage other folks to do something similar. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. You don't have to think about a certain um, leader or anything, but just think about what the world would be missing if you didn't speak up or if you didn't
Mm.
advocate for a certain situation, or if you didn't create some original content that maybe nobody else has touched because they're too scared to go there. And I will go there at times. I challenge all type of stuff. Everything from I talk about disability rights, I talk
Hmm.
about anti-racism, I talk about gender equity. I mean, you name it, all types of areas. Um, and I think it's really important for folks to say, okay, if I do talk about this,
Hmm.
am I positioning myself to be a potential expert, right? What kind of opportunity is it
Mm.
creating too? So it's so many different benefits of it too. And so it takes some courage. Because it can come with some, oh, did she really go there? Oh my goodness. I can't believe she just called out this whole politician or whatever, not to get political. But I think it's really important for folks to remember that.
See, that's really good that you went there, because society today, believe it or not, they're looking for uniqueness. They're looking for what sets you apart from the mass or from everybody else. And those are the unique individuals that really shine most of the time compared to everybody else. Because I mean, if you're just a replica, direct replica of what they've seen over and over and over again, they really do not have a lot of reasons to pay you to be the person to take on the contract or anything like that. Like they're looking for something that makes you different from everybody else. And so pulling from that uniqueness that you have, that unique perspective that you have, is really empowering, in a certain aspect. As long as we believe in what we do, and we make sure that we establish our voice, then that follows. But one thing that I know is, collaboration and diversity most of the time go hand in hand, right? And so, how can embracing, right? I want to know, how can embracing our uniqueness foster better collaborations, right? And diverse creative partnerships, for example.
Yes. Oh, I love that one. So I have a friend, her name is Beverly Word. We're really great friends and we co-host a podcast together. And we are so different in our styles, our delivery, just even
Hmm.
the way we think. And that's what I think makes our show special. And when I watch, different shows that come on like ESPN, you'll see Shannon Sharp, Stephen A. Smith, and all of the,
Hmm.
these big personalities, but they're very different in their delivery, their style. And I think that's a good thing because if you have like creative content where every person on there is saying the exact same thing, they have the same voice, the same
Right,
style. It
right.
just after a while, it becomes kinda like, "All right, I don't see anything unique about it." But it's amazing how much, you can complement each other when you are different and when you are bringing those different perspectives. Because there might be times where you're like, "Well, I don't see it that way. Let me
Hmm.
challenge that." And then the other person brings another perspective and boom, it's like you have all types of people tuned in wanting to see like, oh, okay, so they're coming out at it with these different angles and everything. I got to tune into this. So I think it's really important in terms of collaboration to have those diverse perspectives and just ways of being.
And see, that's what it is. It's empowering, right? When you collaborate, you look at different side of the puzzle, right? Of the coin, different side, and you're describing the same coin, but from different perspective. And so the person that is receiving that is empowered from different angles, and that gives a bigger, better picture of what we're trying to paint. And that's just the best way to help. And I love that. I really, really love that that example you took, right? Where you host and have those conversations with different people on your podcast, and you guys talk about the same thing, but from a different perspective, which is really, really phenomenal. Hey, shout out to you. Thanks for joining us here. Johnny Norm, what's good? He said, we support you and the podcast, Mary. All love from Detroit in the house. That's pretty cool.
My hometown.
Nice. Thanks for being here, Johnny Norm. We appreciate you. Now, what I want to do is take a quick ad break. And when we come back, I really want us to talk about, we're going to dive a little deeper, right? We're going to talk about resilience, criticism, rejection, the works. So be ready. And when we come back, the second part of this conversation is about to be good. Don't go anywhere, family. We'll be right back right after this ad. Stay with me.
Yeah, Miss Luck. I'm so happy. I look so good, y'all. I'm crispy. All right, I'm crispy. I'm done. Listen, y'all. Oh my goodness. Life is a little dull sometimes, right? You can see my colors right now. My colors is a little dull. And sometimes you gotta bring a little bit more life to what you do. Look at me. My boy JP set me up with an amazing LUT. The process was incredible. Before he even sent it my way, he told me how my lighting should be. We got on a Zoom call. We went through all of the settings on the camera, made sure I'm white balanced properly, made sure my lighting was right. Even the foreground and background lighting, he made sure everything was crispy. He let me know what popped with my skin. He made me feel real good. Okay, he made me feel real good. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. He made me feel real good. And man, you guys can see going from 0, all right, to hero. Okay, like let me just dial it in just enough. He even gave me the number to dial it in on. Now, some of you may be asking, what in the heck is a LUT? Now, a LUT is all about getting that custom dial-in color grading that you need just for your custom look. It was important to me as I'm growing my YouTube channel, as I'm growing as a broadcaster, as I'm growing as a content creator. I wanted to make sure that all of my coloring was right and tuned in each and every single time I turn on the camera. Every single time I look into the camera and I'm doing a video, I want to make sure I look good. And if you are a content creator, you're going to want to have your own custom look. You don't want to just download one from the internet and you just put it in there and it looks kind of cool. You want to make sure you have something that's custom from you that no one else has, and my boy JP is the one who can make it happen for you. I'm so happy with my product. It's just incredible. Get it today. I'm overjoyed. It's just an amazing quality product, and I appreciate JP so much, man. You just don't know how amazing you are and how great this product is in this LUT. I'm so happy. I look so good, y'all. I'm crispy. All right, I'm crispy. I'm done. Yeah, just get with JP now. Just get with him now. That's it.
Yo, family. Welcome back here. I'm laughing because my boy Jay Dunn, he just broke it down for y'all, man. I mean, he's so cool. And he's talking about your custom LUT. Yeah, family. A lot of folks always ask me, JP, I have the same camera as you, or I have even a better camera, or how is it that my colors are not looking as sharp, or what is one of your secret weapon? Well, here's the thing. I use something called a custom LUT, right? Lookup table stands for lookup table, right? LUT, lookup table. And it's using cinematography to improve your image quality. If you're watching this podcast right now, I want you to check this out. If you're listening to it, hop on YouTube at JP Hightek and come and check this out, right? I'm about to take off my LUT live, and you'll see what will happen. So if I take this off, right, this is my camera, right? Even though I have all this night lights and everything, look at how my camera looks right now. It's okay, but it's not to the level we want to. So if I go ahead and gradually put my LUT back on, I have a specific number here, like you said. Mine is 90. And so as you can see, the transformation is instant, right? Your skin pop, the colors are true, everything's standing out. And that's something you need custom created for you. Well, all you want to do is go to the website, right? And he mentioned it. The place is jphightek.com forward slash custom LUT. jphightek.com forward slash custom LUT. Get yours today, and so that everything can be top notch when you're on video, right? And of course, if you're just joining us, I want to welcome you back here. We've been here with our guest that I'm about to bring onto the stage right here, Dr. MJ McConner. Thank you so much for the amazing gems that you drop in regards to how we should approach our uniqueness, right? And what we should think about it, and the different aspect, and how that can empower us in society, and how we can leverage that actually to be successful and to position ourselves, which is really, really amazing. Now we're about to go a little deeper to what a lot of times we don't talk about in regards to that, right? So I want to ask you, in your experience, how does daring to be different can impact our mental well-being and resilience, especially in the face of criticism or rejection?
Yeah, you know what? It can take a toll on you if you don't have an outlet, or if you don't have something where it's like recharging you. And I'll give an example. So a lot of times when, especially, the folks I engage with a lot of them do activism work, advocacy work. And
Mm-hmm.
what we decided to do was we created like a little network, because we were like, okay, we're helping everybody else out, but we're operating on E right now
Mm,
because
mm.
this is it's draining, challenging systems, and getting people to try to see things differently.
Right,
But
right.
I definitely think it's important for people to kind of build those networks. So like if you are doing something where you're in a line of work, or you're doing something creatively that might be outside of the box, then try
Mm-hmm.
to find some folks who are also kind of in a similar space. They don't have to be doing the exact same thing, but it does make a difference having that community. And usually when I leave our conversations, I feel recharged. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. I needed that. I got to kind of focus on me, and we got to focus on, some of the different things that we deal with, so that we can go back and do the work that we do. So it can be draining, but it can also be incredibly rewarding. We just have to make sure that we're giving ourselves space and time to really recharge, especially when you're going up against you're going up against just, thinking of things differently. For it can be challenging at times, but it can be done.
Yeah, yeah. Love it that you mentioned community. Community can be really empowering, and most of the things that we do. But I want to play you know the wrong advocate here for a second, and put it for the folks that are not as loud from the back of the room, to ask you this. They'll tell you, MJ, yeah, it's great, but to be practical, where do I even go to find a community, or how do I find people to surround myself that will help me in my journey? Do I just what do you do as a professional? What advice will you give them? What do you do? How do you find those people? Do you just randomly join a group on Facebook, or what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, it takes a little work, and you do have to be proactive. If you look at most cities, most locations, you can find just like a plethora of things that you can get involved in. I know for me as an entrepreneur, what I did pretty early on is I signed up for different entrepreneur groups. So, like, you have like the SCORE program, you have different
Mm-hmm.
chambers and stuff like that. I found that to be really helpful, because when I was in those spaces, even though I was there to learn more about how to run a business, the entrepreneurship side of things, I also met other creatives, right? Who were like, yeah, these are some of the struggles I deal with in my particular industry. Um, and I'm doing something that hasn't been done before. I'm going into this uncharted territory, and like even just that, I was able to connect with folks like, yeah, wow, I never thought about how challenging that must be. And so you kind of form those relationships organically, but it does take you having to kind of put yourself out there a little bit, kind of search. You can look for Facebook groups. You can even Eventbrite. I find
Oh
some
wow,
really dope
wow.
stuff on Eventbrite. Yeah, like just events. Like you know what, I just want to go to an art exhibit or something. And you'll meet some really great creative folks there. Like, and so I think one of the things we need to do as creatives is to always look for inspiration because
Hmm.
when we do that, it just opens our mind to like possibilities that maybe we didn't see before. And so if you open your mind to that and say, you know what, let me go out, let me be intentional in seeking out these opportunities to connect with other folks, you'll be surprised what you can come up with as a creative. Like I've
See,
had
that's the
people
word.
help me. Yep. Yep. I've had people help me come up with topics just based on one thing they said. Like, oh
Wow.
yeah, I've never seen this talked about before. And I'm like, I have expertise in that. Let me go talk about that on the live, right? So I mean, yeah, no, absolutely. Like yeah, having that community makes a difference.
Well, you said it, and for me, it boils down to taking the leap of faith, right? I mean, if we don't have faith, we're just skeptical 24/7, we'll be paralyzed and pretty much we will not try anything, you know,
Hmm.
giving it the benefit of the doubt and just taking that leap of faith. Give it a chance, and you might be surprised, just like MJ saying, you might be surprised, and now you connecting with folks, amazing people that you have never thought of connecting with, until you took that step, and here you go. But of course, one thing that I don't want people to feel is like things are just so easy for MJ. She just have a ride, she had a little bit of struggle in the past, but all is well. Let's be real with them. Could you please share at least one challenge that you've had in your journey of embracing your uniqueness, right? Of daring to be different. And how were you able to overcome it, please?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think just thinking about when I was in the workforce in particular, a lot of times I was the only black woman, in these spaces, and I constantly felt like, okay, how do I fit into this? How do I navigate
Hmm.
that? Do I conform? Should I wear my hair a certain way? Should I dress a certain way?
Hmm.
Um, and the thing about it was interesting is that the more I got into, you know what, I'm gonna wear color, I'm gonna wear what makes me feel good, I'm gonna wear my hair how I want to wear it. That's when people really started to gravitate towards me.
Mm.
When they saw me living in my truth. So people can pick
Mm.
up on it. People pick up on when you're just trying to fit the mold versus when you are really living and unapologetically in your truth. So it's so
Whoo!
important.
Whoo! Yo! She went there, family. Yo!
Mhm. Mhm.
Oh my God. It's real.
Uh-huh.
It's so real. Thank you
It is
for
so
being
real.
real.
Yes. And we all have to
Oh.
be real. We have to, especially as creatives. You can't not be real because people will pick up on that right away. And plus you want to be true to yourself. Like
Hmm.
not even just thinking about other people right now, right? Thinking about who you are and like just waking up every day knowing like, you know what? I feel a certain passion for life. I feel a passion for the work I do because I know this is authentically me. It reflects the real me.
And that helps. We just talked about mental health earlier. And that helps because if you don't do that, you feel miserable. Like
Yes.
you start being depressed, you start hating yourself or not hating life altogether, and not even looking at the opportunities and the blessing you have around you, simply because you it's like somebody's choking you, right? It's like there's something that's choking you, and you just want to be free. And I love that we're talking about it because there's so many people that are struggling with mental health, and it's real.
It
It's
is
real.
so real. It is real. And sometimes we don't realize the toll it takes on us until we step away from it or until we start really saying like, "Wait a minute. What's really getting at me? What's
Mm.
really doing it? Is it because I have to feel like I have to conform or because I can't be true to myself?" And then once you start figuring that out
Mhm.
and then you can address it, then it's almost like this liberation of, okay, I'm free from that burden of feeling like I got to be somebody else. I can be
Right.
who God designed me to be, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. So I can't believe we've gotten to the end of our conversation. I'm looking at the time. I'm like, oh, snap. Come on, we have a lot to talk about. But I have one more question, MJ, before we to ask you how to connect with you and what you have for us and everything. One practical note, right? Let's close it on a practical note, and I want to ask you, for somebody that just wants, tip to embrace their uniqueness, right, fully, and turning that into a strength. What would be one or two advice you give them, step to take that will really help a creative in their endeavor to really embrace their uniqueness and take the next journey of life?
Yeah. I think one of the things that has been really helpful for me and some folks that I've advised to do this is to actually sit down and write out, okay, what makes me unique?
Mm,
What would I like to do? Like, what would I like to achieve? And then kind of bring all of that together. Sometimes we almost have to create like a personal plan. You know how you create a business plan, like, all right, this is exactly what I'm trying to achieve. This is what I bring to the market.
hmm
It's almost like you have to do that with yourself sometimes. Like, okay, I know I'm good at speaking. I love making people feel empowered. I enjoy just relaxing on the weekends, all of that. Just write it out. And then it'll really help you center yourself and figure out exactly who you are and what you bring to the world.
Amen to that. Let me put amen at the end of that. That's a blessing, what you just said. Thank you so much. Now, we want to know for the folks that are like, yo, I might want to work with her. I might want to invite her to speak. I want to connect with her, network, and all of that. How can they do that? What do you have for them? Please take it away and let us know.
Absolutely. So I am on pretty much every social media platform. So Facebook, Instagram, and also I'm on Twitter. So I have my personal accounts. And then also I do have my business accounts as well. So you can follow us on LinkedIn. It's Inclusive Excellence Consulting. We also have an Instagram page at Inclusive Excellence Consulting, and then also Facebook as well with that. So I'm really active on LinkedIn. Anybody who knows me knows LinkedIn is my jam. So feel free to connect with me, message me. We can follow each other. I love being engaged and interacting with folks on LinkedIn.
Oh yeah, she sure is. She is very present on LinkedIn, and I'm also always on LinkedIn. I really appreciate connecting with you on LinkedIn as well. And so that is fantastic, MJ. Thank you so much, for all the amazing advice and this amazing conversation. Please don't go anywhere as I go in and close with everyone, and I'll be right back with you again. Thank you so much. All right, family, we've gone to the end of our conversation. This is amazing stuff. Let us know whether you listen to the podcast, watching it, wherever you're watching it from. What will be the one takeaway that you've gotten from this? And hopefully this has given you an encouragement to be different, to be unique, to embrace that side of you, and to really make a difference in this world that we are in today. Blessings to you guys. This is what we do every single week. And I want to see you next week, next Tuesday. We'll be back here for another episode with another amazing guest, amazing professor. Be safe. And like I said, I always say every week, shalom. Bye.